Well, howdy there, everyone. Welcome to Stoveside Chats. It's the first Wednesday of July. It's crazy that we're already a week into July. Unbelievable. Thanks for joining us today. We have a good interview with Chef Ebony Warfield from Winston-Salem. So we're just waiting on her to get here, and then we'll get started. Thanks for the folks. Okay. All right, here's Ebony. Hey, Ebony.
Hey,
How you doing?
good, doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see and talk to you face to face. Well, kind of, but it's been a while.
I know, right?
Yeah. So everyone joining us, this is Executive Chef Ebony Warfield of Six and Vine in Winston-Salem. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. I know that all you folks are super busy right now. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your background and how you got into cooking.
Well, I actually started cooking when I was young. Started cooking in the kitchen with my grandma. Pretty much learned from her. Went off, joined the military for about 8 years. Went to culinary school. Cooked around Austin, Texas for a little bit. Killeen, Texas for a little, and then just recently, about 3 years ago, moved out here to North Carolina and started cooking.
Okay, I didn't realize it had been that recent. Now your husband Sean Warfield, he's a chef too. He's a chef at Sophie's Cork and Ale in Winston-Salem. Did you guys meet in the Army?
Yes, we actually met in the military. We were in the same.
Okay,
That's how we actually.
cool. Yeah, so every year the Got to Be in Sea program does a Cooking for the Troops event, and I was fortunate enough to have Chef Travis Myers come down, and he invited Ebony and Sean along with him because they were our secret weapons. They had all the military experience and kind of guided us through that process. But that was a whole lot of fun. So tell us a little bit about Six and Vine and some of the things that you're doing there.
Well, we're actually starting today. We're starting to go ahead and transition the menu over and add a few things, snatch a few things off. I know that's been highly anticipated by everyone. Everyone's like, "When are you going to put your foot?" So proud to say, hopefully by either the end or the beginning of next, fingers crossed, we'll have some new items on there. As far we're just trying to get fresh, local, and pack as much flavor into everything we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to congratulate you. This is a new role for you at Six and Vine as the executive chef, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So now, is it true that you're the first black female executive chef in Winston-Salem?
That's what I've been told.
That's crazy. Well, first of all, congratulations. I'm glad it's you. I have several thoughts about that. That's the first thought. The second one is like that's just now happening. That's
Right?
crazy. But anyway, I'm glad that it's you. So tell us. Can you tell us? I don't want you to give away any spoilers, but how are you going to kind of make the menu a little bit more your own and put your fingerprints on it?
Well, one thing I told you, definitely making sure that we use a lot more local ingredients, and then also taking just some of the recipes that I learned as a child from my grandma and adding them to the menu, but also elevating what we all grew up with by putting it on the menu. Like we always used to have some kind of candied yam, but instead of doing a candied yam, let's do a sweet potato puree. Or you guys are used to having collard greens. How about we do a black eyed pea and collard greens succotash? Like that deal. Just taking some of the old favorites, southern favorites, and just elevating.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool way to cook. That's definitely how I cooked when I had my restaurant, and I think it's important to kind of keep those traditions going. I know that we're going to always put our chef spin on there, but I think it's cool to because I was like you. I was greatly influenced by by the women in my family who I grew up watching cooking and making candies and stuff like that. And shout out to my papa Spell who showed me how to cook squirrel. but But it's nice to hear that you're taking some of those traditions and things that mean a lot to you, and putting them on a menu and sharing them with other folks. I think that's really, really cool. Now, I know that you did a podcast recently where you were talking about High on the Hog. I didn't get a chance to see that podcast, but I'm interested in your take on that. I thought it was a great series, maybe one of the best that's ever been on Netflix about food, period. But what was your reaction to that, and how did it feel to see some recognition being given to Black chefs? Because you went to culinary school, and we were taught that it was the European way and it was codified a certain way, and there wasn't a whole lot outside of that, but it turns out there's a whole lot outside of that. So talk about how you felt watching that series.
It was really good to actually see some light being brought to it, because a lot of people don't know that a lot of these things started on the backbone of slavery. I know it's sad and gross to say, but a lot of like these one-pot dinners and things like that kind of started from that time frame of having to put everything into a pot, go out into the field, do whatever you had to do, and then come back, and then you would have to make these big batches that would feed the entire family. It also was kind of sad. It had some really sad points. I think it was when he walked that exact same road that everyone had walked to actually get to the boats, just seeing how many people died. And I don't know, that part specifically, it moved me so much. I literally cried. But it was just really nice to see all these different people from different walks of life coming together and making this good food. And you have farm to table, you have people in the communities, and actually putting a face and a name behind soul food. A lot of people just didn't know what that was. They just thought it was something that was made up, but it's actually a cuisine that people have taken years to actually pour into, that's finally getting some kind of recognition. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to see that. And you're right, when I can't remember the name of the gentleman who kind of hosted the series, but when he was with Jessica Harrison, he kind of broke down in that one scene. Man, that was a very visceral experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was really sad to see.
Yeah. And I love Jessica Harrison. She's one of my favorites. I've got a couple of her cookbooks from back in the day. And I just think that she's a really, really cool person. So let's talk about how you, and I don't know how you do it, but how you balance kids and being married and being an executive chef, and how does that all work together?
Well, thankfully I have Kathleen, who's also playing the same juggling game that I'm playing with the kids and being a wife and being a business owner. So she kind of gets it. So a lot of the times I'll have my kids come up here. We'll hang out at the restaurant while I'm in the back cooking, or on my off days, I'll have them come up here. As far as my husband, he kind of knows the law. Sophie's working the business. We live throughout the day, saute, or make as much as possible. We pack it full of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Now, is there any competition in the house between you and Sean as far as cooking, or do you guys play well in the kitchen together?
Always. We play well together, but it's definitely always.
That's good. That's good.
Us both to like keep going to the next level. We love it.
Yeah. Hey, Ebony, your audio is breaking up just a little bit. Maybe if you can kind of get toward your mic a little bit more there.
Okay.
There you go. That's perfect. So you had I didn't write down the whole quote, but you posted a quote from Chef Claudia Dewari she's a Georgia chef, the Green Lab, talking about women chefs having more of a place at the table and being more a part of the conversation, which it's good to see that happen recently. And I know that you've worked hard to get to where you are. What are some of the things that you've done and that you want to message moving forward to keep women as part of that conversation, as being a presence in the kitchen today?
Just knowing that you may have to work a little bit harder to get that thing, but that's okay, because there is a light So you had to do everything, washing the dishes, to wiping the floors, to clean the windows, the bar back, busing. I've done every role there was in the kitchen. So I never want these females to feel like there is light at the end of that tunnel. May have to work a little bit harder, but don't give up that tenacity. Never give up that grit. Working as hard as you can where you want to be, not where anybody else thinks where you want to.
That's super important, that last part, what you just said, where you want to be and not what other people, might necessarily expect where you should be at that stage in your life. So sage words of wisdom. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. You've been posting some of the food that you've been doing there, some of your specials and stuff, and they all look great. How did the sweet potato Hennessy cake sell? That looked really, really good.
So that literally lasted a day and a half.
Wow. So pretty good.
Yeah, like I made it in the middle of the day, and I think I sold half of it during dinner service. So as soon as I put it on the board, half of it was gone. Then the next day I only had like 3 slices. As soon as I let people know I only had 3 slices, it was gone. So it literally didn't even last really an 8-hour shift. Yeah, so I'm going to make another one. 2, not 1. Probably make like 2. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It was.
What are some of the savory dishes that have really taken off there that you've done as far as specials go?
People love. I did a steak entree, and it had pork jaw and shallot pan sauce over it. It also had a smoked Gouda, polenta, and then I did Hoppin' Johns and collard greens. Also the side on that sold really well. We're actually, no spoiler.
Yeah.
About putting that.
Nice. So I was checking out your Facebook page. So you're from Milwaukee originally, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. How much time did you spend there?
I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so 18.
Okay. Now, are there certain food, like classic Milwaukee dishes or certain foodways from that area that you kind of carry with you? Or
where I love to cook with beer. A lot of people don't understand that, but that's like Wisconsin. We're known for the Miller beer. That's just our thing. That and cheese. Those are the 2 things you will get when you go to Milwaukee. So I definitely love to cook with as much as possible. Yeah,
and I guess we can even say Miller's the champagne of beers, right? So it's such a special beer. So now
that name is because it's actually the first beer to ever be put in a glass bottle.
Oh, is that how they? Okay, I had no idea. So what about your time in Texas? How does that influence your style of cooking? So
that definitely brought me more into smoking things, getting more of that Tex-Mex kind of vibe. The food scene is completely different there than it is anywhere else. Like, I came here and no one knew what fried ice cream was. And I'm like, fried ice cream? Or burrito tacos. Right. But you can get a burrito at gas station in Texas. Like, it's everywhere. Burrito tacos, it's the soup. Me and my husband would go there and eat that right before we went to culinary school. But as far as like the smoking of the meat, just taking that time, it's not like a lot of times they won't even really season the meat. It'll just be salt and pepper and then a really good wood that gives flavor and time, obviously. Yeah, and the sauces are a little sweeter than what we're used to here. I like them. We spent some time, in Oklahoma when I was a kid, and when we moved out there, I didn't know that you could barbecue beef. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I didn't know that was a thing, Yeah. But I remember when we were doing that cooking for the military event, and we were in Cherry Point, and we passed a restaurant that said authentic Texas barbecue, and you and Sean were both like, I'll be the judge of that. I'll be the judge. Right, yeah. So no, that's really cool. Well, we are out of time. I appreciate you carving out a few minutes out of your busy week. I kind of chose this time because I felt like it was an okay time for chefs to get away, but I know that a lot of times when they're having this conversation, they're thinking about all the stuff they have to do to get ready for service tonight. So I'll let you get back to it, but thank you so much for being here. Congratulations. Thank you so much for having me on. I think we'll stay friends forever. We made that bond.
Absolutely. That's right. That's right. And listen, I want you and also Sean next year to do the NCRLA Chef Showdown.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. And I'm actually going to be hanging out with Travis Sunday and Monday. He's going to be one of the judges for the Charlotte semifinal round. But I'll make sure you guys have all that information because I would love to see you guys compete outside of your kitchen and compete against one another in the showdown.
Oh, let's do it. We haven't competed in a long time. I'm ready to smoke his boots.
There you go. Well, look, tell Sean that I said hello. And again, congratulations. And hopefully I'll be able to get to Winston-Salem and come check you out soon.
Most definitely. Thanks, Chad. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.